Hey, Soul Fam, Amelia J here. Hope you guys are feeling good and doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm doing good. I got a few minutes. I was like, let me pop in and make this video before the day is over. And I made it and I'm excited. And I have a great topic to talk about. Ooh, and the lighting is good. I'm excited. So, Soul Fam, I just want y'all to understand that the journey to life and a journey through success is two different journeys. Oftentimes, I talk about both on my channel and my page. I talk about how to get through your mental life and how to get through your day to day. But I also talk about millionaire mindset and shifting your mindset to grow. So when you shift your mindset to grow, you shift your mindset for that success, honey. And when you are striving for success, you're striving for something that's always going to keep coming and always going to keep growing. Woo! I said keep going, yes, and keep growing. And so this fell on my heart heavy this morning. This morning I woke up, I was like, oh, I gotta talk about it. So I'm excited to come here and be able to talk about it. Okay. So fam, a lot of our parents and a lot of our grandparents was going through the journey of life. Okay, so when you going through the journey of life, baby, you just trying to make sure there's food on the table. You just trying to make sure you keep a job. You want to save up some money, but oftentimes we save up enough for Christmas every year. You know what I'm saying? Or we'll get just enough to get through those tough days. So when you striving through the journey of life, you can still be just as happy as someone who's striving for millionaire, success on high levels, okay? And when you're going through the journey of life, you also want to keep those boundaries and keep that peace. And you can have both. You can have a life and have peace. That's what I mean when you can have both. When you're striving for the journey of success, now it's not going to be the same when you striving through the journey of life. Because when you striving through the journey of life, it's like you just okay with just getting through day to day, and you just okay with having peace of mind. You just okay with how things are, and you're full. This is what your path calls, and this is what you're happy with, and that's okay. And oftentimes it's like we get mad at certain people who are not on the journey to success. They're just in the journey of life. And so I'm going to explain the journey to success, because a lot of us say we want it and we want this and we want that, and we don't realize the amount of work it takes to get that and to maintain that. Okay, so this is where it gets real good. This is the part that was on my heart, and I was just like, oh Lord. I was like, oh, he broke it down so clear. I was just like, okay, I gotta share. And just a disclaimer, guys, this is things that I've noticed in my own life, and it's always my personal experience that I'm just willing and comfortable to share with you, to hopes that maybe you can relate. There's some things you're going to relate with, and there's some things that you're not going to relate with, and that's okay. That is okay. Okay, so the journey to success, the things that a lot of people say they want, and when it comes down to it, and you see what it takes, it's like, do I really want that? You know what I'm saying? So when you start your journey to success, baby, you in a nice big minivan. Now this is a whole metaphor. So this is where you're going to have to think a little bit. I know a lot of y'all be a little confuzzled, but I'm going to use this metaphor because it just helps me really, 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 really share the message, okay? And the sun is moving. So we got about, let's say 10 minutes before it's gone, okay? Because I need this lighting. Without this lighting, we're going to be fighting to see me. So fam, when you going through, hold on, y'all. I'll be able to see. When you going through this, oh, guys, I think that side is moving faster than we could speak. Let's see. Oh, Lord. Oh, it's gone. Damn, that's almost fast. But y'all can still see me, right? Let me see. My eyes are deceiving me a little bit. Yeah, I was looking real shiny, but we're gonna keep it going because we still got about 15 minutes before it get dark, okay? So fam, real quick, when you're going through the journey of success, okay, you're gonna start off in a nice minivan. Okay, you're gonna be in that nice, cute minivan, and you're gonna have seats for everybody. Everybody could easily get in, hop in. You're gonna have all your equipment. If it rains, you got some windshield wipers, and when it's cold, you put on the heat. When it's hot, you put on the AC. You got everything you need. Everything is great, but that's at the beginning. And as you're going through your journey to success, okay, and you keep pushing through, it starts to get more difficult, okay, because you start going from a minivan to a bike. All right, so when it rains, you gotta have on a little poncho, and you gotta hook everything you need. So in a car, baby, when you first start off in the car, you good, you can put everything in the trunk. But when things start getting a little rough and you start going to that next level, then you switch over to having a bike. Right? So when you have a bike, it's harder for you to carry so much more stuff, and things will start falling off. And this is where a lot of people fall short, is because they not realizing that as you climbing that mountain, and you going through them whips and turns, you gonna need more people helping. And sometimes as you going through that journey, more people ain't gonna want to help. Some people, they only help as much as they have already helped. And sometimes when you're striving for success, it's like you kind of get a little upset. You get a little upset because it's like you want the same people that was in that minivan to move on with you in that bike. But some people like, I can't pedal that much. They not saying this exactly, but they kind of showing this. And so when you in control of that bike and you the one that's doing the steering, and doing getting the bike moving, and you want everybody to move with you, sometimes people just don't have that same vision and don't have that same drive. Okay, and what they have given you is mostly all that they could give. And so there are going to be some people that's just going to be left behind. See, the problem is, though, when those people get left behind, we think we got to just cut them off and we could never talk to them again because they didn't want to do this and they didn't want to do that. But what you got to understand with success is that, baby, you the one driving that bike. You the one that was operating that minivan. So when it comes down to it and you need somebody to do what you supposed to do, you got to be able to handle the pressure. You got to be able to handle the wind and the difficulties that come when you sitting around trying to pedal up that hill and go around that mountain and deal with this and deal with that and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and find someone else that's going to do the job. Because 9 times out of 10, when you go from a car to a bike, not that many people's going to want to keep going. Some people is just not built for it. So when you building and you aiming for success, you got to be built for it. If not, you got to build yourself for it if it's something that you really want. Okay, if it's something that you really want, you make it work. But sometimes something that you really want is not something that someone else may really want. Not everybody has the same intentions in mind. So oftentimes we always so quick to be like, oh, this person is fake, or oh, this person is hating, or oh, this person is jealous, and oh, this person. No, how about that person has just given you all that they could give you? And sometimes God gave you the vision because you got to do the rest of the work. So when you striving for success and it's time for you to do the rest of the work, you got to be prepared. Because once you go through that bike, eventually, right, what you got to do, you have to pick up the bike and walk down the stairs. See, not everybody's willing to pick up the bike and walk down the stairs. That's why some people, they just go to the gym and they just get on the little, machine bike. Because that's nice and simple. You could operate more. That's like a vehicle. You could sit and do basic stuff. So some people, okay, get to the level of success where they get into a minivan and they got all the controls that they need and they're comfortable. But when you really aiming for those high levels, eventually God is going to be testing you and He's going to take that vehicle away. Now this is metaphorically, okay? He's going to take that vehicle away and He's going to put you on a bike and see how can you withstand these whips and turns with less flexibility, okay? And after He see how you working that bike, eventually he gonna put you in a crate, metaphorically. Okay? So some of us is even gonna get to a point where we in a crate, and when you in a crate, what could fit in the crate? You can't have too much things hooked on. When you got too much things hooked on and you trying to operate a crate, you barely gonna go somewhere. So sometimes you kind of gotta just let that person go a little bit. Leave those things behind for a minute. Because if you try to carry all that stuff with you, you're never gonna be able to grow, because you need that strength. Everything is not gonna be like when you was in that minivan. When you was in that minivan, oh baby, it was easy. You even had Bluetooth, you get what I'm saying? But when you in that crate, oh baby, you better have that iPod charge, and you better have the connected headphones, because if you got the AirPods and that you whip around the sign, that AirPod is gone. It's out the vehicle. And if you jump and go and try to get it, you better make sure it's worth jumping for. Because once you jump out, baby, it's going to be a nice big wind that hits you, okay? And sometimes God is going to put you in a crate, and you're going to be in the middle of the ocean. It may be like a little rescue boat. You know, this is going to feel like life is going to feel like you in a little rescue boat. You barely got some stuff with you. The winds is pushing against you, and you're going to need people that's going to help paddle that boat. Okay? And then once you get to where you got to get and paddle that boat, then maybe you could send back for who you need to send back for and do what you need to do. But sometimes the journey to success is going to be some lonely times that not everybody is okay with. Not everybody know what it's like to just be alone, because they feel like they need that validation. Sometimes you got to get rid of those people that keep validating you so you can make moves that God want to do for you. And God can't do everything if you keep listening to everybody else thinking they know what's for you. Because sometimes what's for you is just for you. I need you to do this. Sometimes the assignment only have your name on it, and we're not used to that because we live in a world where everybody's very codependent. Depending on having a friend, depending on having a lover, depending on having a family member, dependent, because they afraid of that word of alone. I'm going to be alone. I'm going to be alone. I'm going to be alone. You need to be alone for a little bit, okay? It's not that bad. So when you want this successful life and you want this real hard work that it's going to take to get where you got to go, baby, you got to be able to keep your mind sane. Because it's going to be so easy to get out of that boat and go back and get that bike and go back and get that van. Because when you go back and do that, you going back and you starting over. Because you showing that I still don't got what it take. And sometimes you do got to go back. Sometimes you do. But don't go back for too long and stay distracted. Because you're just running from what is probably glistening at the top of that mountain for you. When you get through these struggles and you face them and you really stay consistent and obedient, so much more is waiting for you on the other side of that. But sometimes often we don't get to the other side of that because we so afraid and we keep running back to base instead of going through it. See, when you go through it, that's when you get to see the real deal. But if you don't take that moment and go through it, you never gonna really get that real, how can I say it, love that God wants to show you, you know? And there's nothing better than time, all right? So when you take that time and you face not everything, but as much as you can that you need to face with your mental health, with your physical health, with your emotional health, you get to really see that strong person that you can be. And this has some twists and turns depending on where you are in life. And you want to tread lightly. You want to take your time. You don't want to just rush through, you know? And God showed me this. And it brought some peace. And it brought me to a place where I was like, mentally, emotionally, it brought more clarity. So if you someone that's striving for success, get ready. And if you haven't experienced this and stuff, I know you experienced this stuff already. Get ready, because it's going to be a ride. But good things come to those who wait. And good things come to those who work hard. If you are someone who put in some hard work, there's going to be a big reward. So don't give up just yet. Don't turn your nose just yet. You know what I'm saying? Don't lose the faith just yet. Sometimes we lose the faith too quick. We lose our faith way too fast. No. Trust the process. I'm telling you, when you trust the process and you do the work and you stick to the plan at hand that was handed to you, okay, you will start to see the results, the real results. Not no little crumbs, because the devil will give you little crumbs, okay? He'll give you little crumbs. And everything is not money. Sometimes we sitting around, we waiting for literally the $1 million deposit, Sometimes it's so much bigger that you won't even believe this is your life. You'll be like, I have this much knowledge and this much certainty and this much clarity now. Imagine how much more can be done in the future because of all of this work that I'm doing in the present. And it's 360 work. When I say 360, y'all know what I mean. Physical, mental, emotional, all that. You can't leave nothing out. So as you on the journey to success, you don't want to just be having money and you emotionally broken. Then you're like someone who won't be able to stick to something. You're always going to be someone that start and don't finish or be too confused. You don't want to have money and be confused. You want to know what you need to know. So you don't make foolish mistakes. I mean, we learn from our mistakes, yes. But I'll tell you this, I'd rather be making these mistakes while I don't have a lot of money. Indeed. Because I'm going to be upset if I start making these mistakes and I got millions on my hands. I'm going to be sitting there. That's going to be a big loss. I mean, I know big loss, big reward, but come on. You know what I'm saying? If you could avoid it and take these small losses. I'll be taking these small losses like, okay. Thank you. I'll be so excited. Like, I'm so excited. so fam. I said I'm not going to chat long. I said we have 51 minutes. It's actually not that bad. I thought it was going to get really dark because the sun was moving, but it's still kind of getting a little dark. So I'm going to wrap this up. But so fam, I appreciate you. And I really hope that my video is bringing some clarity, okay? It's keeping you focused. It's keeping you moving because you got to keep moving. The moment you stop moving, the moment you start moving, baby, it gets harder than it needs to be, all right? And if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you. Press the little belly so you can see when I posty again and again and again, because I know I got some good more topics coming, because the Lord said you know how to deliver the mail, so we gonna let you keep delivering the mail. Even when some of them get a little upset, don't get upset at me, okay? Take it up with him, not on me. So Amelia Adair here. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and guess what? I'm gonna see y'all at the next win.